Guess what time it is? It's the long-awaited nighttime with Dara. Let me lower the lines a bit. The light a bit. Okay, at night, what do? I usually take a bath with bath salts and lavender oil or rose oil. I light sage in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And I make a nighttime tonic. And I either draw or I read. And lately I've been working on my Free the Chi children's book that I think is good for adults or children because it's a crossover message on why we need to keep our things tidy. So I'm gonna light some Palo Santo. It's like a ritual for me. It cleanses the energy that may have landed when I sleep, and it cleanses the energy that may have been during the day. And I really think, good evening, Laura, that this is a very, very tricky time. It's very, very windy here. It's a windy season. We're kind of blown about by like pulls. I felt a lot of pulls and needs, and people need to see you for the holidays, or they might need a favor, or they need this, or they need that, and it's so beautiful. It's the season of giving, but you can feel pulled in different directions. You can also feel blown in different directions. So grounding at this time, thank you for the thumbs up. I love thumbs up. And comments, I love your comments. And I love your comments during the video, but guess what? I can't reread them later, so feel free to leave a comment when the video is done. So thank you so much, because I have been snipping it myself. One night in the studio, I was sitting there and I had like a makeup mirror nearby, and I took a glance and I thought, it's making my face look long, and it was just too, I like it blunt, and we started cutting layers, and I was like, no, I just need to snip there. And then of course I snipped there, and then of course I snipped there, and I brought it up. I'm not smoking, it's Palo Santo. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm like, it's a wood from Peru. Hey cactus lady. Hey creamy face lady. Of course I use my Kindry today. That avocado cream that I have that you gave me is like heavenly in the morning. Kindry skincare. I love when Robin shows up because I love to support people who do things with love, and her skin care is wonderful. That's what I want to say. I'm especially doing tonight's video because the Santa Ana winds are exacerbating the fire. Every second another acre is burned. So they said that it would take 14 minutes and all of Central Park would be burned. That's how fast it's going. So I like fire. I have a fire, air dosha in Ayurvedic, and it's a very airy time. Like Christmas time is airy. We're very blown around. We got to ground ourselves. So what a perfect thing to do is nighttime with Dara, and kind of ground ourselves at night with a little Palo Santo or a little bit of sage. And I'm going to make a creamy turmeric. Let's get us some decent, I want you to see what I'm doing. A creamy turmeric kind of latte. It's a tonic, and we're going to use ashwagandha because in this time of stress, people are losing their homes. The energy of the earth is going crazy lately. So we have to connect with people we love. We have to calm ourselves, ground ourselves, eat root vegetables, offer our services and our love to people in need. I gave an entire bag of clothes and things to the people in Ventura whose houses are being burned. It happened in Sonoma, now it's Ventura, it's happening in Bel Air and reaching even Brentwood. I got an Mercury in retrograde. I can't speak. I can speak. I got an emergency signal on my phone, which means that the fires, it's near the 405. I'm going to get the ashwagandha. I'm recommending ashwagandha and some healthy fats like coconut oil. It does smell like weed. That's why I was going to say that maybe you prefer a stick of Palo Santo. There's also, you can buy a piece of charcoal. They sell a stack of charcoals, and you can burn different resins. You can use whatever incense you like. It's the ritual of the smoke clearing the energy. So I really feel like grabbing the ashwagandha. Shilajit is grounding. Turmeric makes you sleepy, but supposedly turmeric's a bit of an astringent. So it's kind of, it's astringent and it can like dry you out a bit. So I think healthier fats in the winter, although I love turmeric. So actually turmeric is good for me with almond milk. It softens it. So that's what I am doing. We're gonna have some moon juice almond milk. Please make your own. It's really not hard. You soak almonds for 8 hours, you drain them, you rinse them, you drain them, and then you put 1 cup almonds, 4 cups water, or maybe 3, or even, it depends how creamy you want it. You blend, 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 blend in a high performance blender, and you strain it through a nut milk bag. They're available at health food stores or online, nut milk. So then what happens is you are straining it, and what's left over is your almond milk, and it's absolutely lovely. So I'm going to use my, you can't see, my Capresso frother, and I'm going to put in a little, I got fresh turmeric with ginger. Ginger warms you up. Ginger also heats up and activates your digestive system. So if you're going to eat fatty, you might want to have some ginger, and you might want to study. There's a woman I found on Instagram, I don't know her name right now, but studying the dosha, studying your dosha and Ayurvedic medicine, having warming food. I think I got it from Rocio. She's Let It Be Cozy on Instagram, and I really feel like it's important to pay attention to your own constitution. Somebody's bigger than me and more solid and more kapha, they might need spices. I may need to lay off the spices if I'm too fiery. So we really, at any given moment during the year, we like to, the idea is to stay in balance, is to have a balance of all of them. And sometimes we can get out of whack. So Ayurvedic medicine can show us how to get back in balance. So warming foods, things that warm your spleen. We're putting in a little, this has fresh ginger, fresh turmeric, and black pepper oil to help you absorb the turmeric, because that makes you have anti-inflammatory benefits even more. So I'm gonna steam it all. Actually, I could have steamed the milk and added the turmeric after, but it's too late now. I'm gonna put in a little ashwagandha. There's a chance that I need to blend this after, but I'm gonna put a little bit of ashwagandha and shilajit and see if it blends in the frother. It's golden milk, exactly. You don't need to use a lot. Do it to your own palate, to your own taste. They're very, very potent, so you don't need a lot. Just a little bit. If you don't have fresh, by all means, use powdered, although the fresh is the best. Okay, so we have, now there's a chance the powder will not dissipate in the steamer, but it might, so we're gonna see. The lighting's a little whatever, but the most important thing is, I'm gonna dim it for nighttime with Dara. I think that will be nice. Put on some, let's see, how's that? Let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's glowy. I put orange lights in for Christmas, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It warms. Powder, yes, powder is just fine. Use the powder. So I don't have any sweetener. I might use a little bit of monk fruit. And okay, let's steam it up. I put ashwagandha for stress and anxiety and boosting our immunity. Ashwagandha, that's Ayurvedic. Shilajit is from the Himalayas. It's grounding and libidinizing and energizing, so it's adaptogenic. We also have the turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory. And the almond milk gives it a nice healthy fat. It's a wonderful fat. I'm just thinking of all the people who've lost their homes and things, and all the animals who are displaced, and all the people who have just had environmental catastrophes happen, and It's just when it starts to come close to your home, you think, oh my gosh, like it's absolutely uncontrollable, and really makes you feel very, very appreciative for what we have. The dimming of the day with Dara. I love that. So, I'm so sweet. So I'm sending so much love. Let's see what we got. We put a little monk fruit. We're going to see if it, did we also talk about, that's so sweet. I'm making one of my famous tonics. Somebody passed me in the street today, and they were like, I just heard, I was on the phone, and I heard somebody go, YouTube, something like that. And I was like, hey. Yeah, it's so heartbreaking. It's just, it makes them, we have to plug in. We got to plug in, so we might have to go this way. We are having a battery situation, so I don't want to get disconnected. Let's plug in for a minute. Let's see. It's heartbreaking, really. So we're sending a lot of love. Let's all be very grateful and thankful for what we have. I want to give a shout out to Vegan Mario. You can order his bread. This is gluten-free sourdough. So ryless rye bread, and you just cut a little slice, you toast it. It's vegan, it's organic, it's gluten-free, and it's a treat and a half. It's not raw, but it'll get, where gluten tries to get you, Vegan Mario combats the gluten craving like crazy. It's just so beautiful. And what do I want to share? There's so much I want to share. I'm still thinking about the idea for a community for baby boomers and younger to move to somewhere that feels kind of Darified, a place with good feng shui and light and air and crystals catching the sunlight in the window and sending prisms and plants and clean and minimal but comfortable. And yes, it's my kitchen. It's just a strange view. It's a very strange view. I'm going to turn on that. You're going to see my chandelier. Hold on. So we're talking about that. My neighbor Danielle and I are really into the idea. I'm going to turn on another warm chandelier. So you can feel the Santa Ana winds, and it's just so, it feels so breezy and beautiful, but it's a little bit, it feels ominous too, even if I didn't know about the fires. I need to start getting into my ear channel. I've not heard a lot of these ingredients. What do you want to know more about? I'm happy to tell you. Welcome to my newbies. Our newbies. We have the best YouTube family in the whole world here. It's amazing. I feel like rice makes me feel bloated, but I do think it's a great option for people instead of having like pasta and breads and stuff. And I feel like gluten-free pasta is great on occasion, like not every day, but if you're transitioning from some kind of sad diet, go for the gluten-free pasta. That's why I say there's no excuses. Like, we have so many options to satisfy that chewiness. I'm so safe from the fires. I feel for everybody else who's not. Like, I am safe. The air feels a little weird. It smells. I heard that, I mean, it's just going through Ojai and Ventura and Brentwood. I've read The Artist's Way many times. It's fantastic. Yes, years ago. Thank you, Gung Ho. It's my pleasure to be here. It truly is my pleasure. So we are simmering down, as my friend Linda likes to say, and I do believe that it works. I do believe. I'm going to go get my Dust Ceramics new mug. It's a tumbler, and you can find them on Etsy. Etsy. You're lucky to get them if you get them. Because it's a husband and wife, and they're in Joshua Tree, and he throws the tumbler and she does the glazing, and they're a lovely couple. So we are going to pour a hot, sweet turmeric, or what people call golden milk. Did you have deja vu? Ooh, have we been here before? It's so good. The turmeric, the ginger. So what's in here? Hi, Holly Marie. So what's in here is almond milk. Thank you, Anthony, man. I think he feels like he's lucky. So fresh almond milk, and I put it in my Capresso frother. You could put it in a blender and then heat it. It's got fresh turmeric juice, fresh ginger juice, black pepper oil. It's got a little bit of ashwagandha and a little bit of shilajit. The shilajit grounds and lifts. The ashwagandha just fends off stress and anxiety, especially helpful during the holidays, and especially helpful with immunity. And the turmeric is anti-inflammatory. The wind is blowing open my doors. It's a little creepy. I was woken up in the middle of the night. Anyway, so the black pepper oil helps the turmeric be more effective. And there's fresh ginger juice, which is good for the digestive system. It's warming and delicious. So does anybody have any questions for you new people? I know I throw out. Shilajit is Shilajit. I am into essential oils. I have Neil's Yard Women's Balance that my friend Tammy Kowal sent me. You can find her. And I use that. I use frankincense. I love. And my latest thing is monk oil. I got this at Moon Juice, this particular City Skin Potion. My friend Nicolette told me that it's kind of like a barrier to, gosh, the best source of fulvic acid, off the top of my head, I can't think of it. Somebody feel free to chime in. So this feels like sage, it smells delicious, but it feels like a protection in an oil, like Palo Santo or sage. They have a Palo Santo scented one, it's so nice. So this is amazing. Yeah, so, we can also, you know what I wanted to do, which I haven't done, really good point. Ashwagandha helps with anxiety, as does Now Alchemy's Shilajit, CBD, and Ormus. So the CBD in this is absolutely absorbable. And I'm going to put a whole dropper of this in. You guys get to have this for a big discount if you put in DARA. So some of that's going in. So we are really warming up the body. I would love to visit Portland, Natalie. Amazing organic vegan restaurants called Prasad and Harlow. Sounds so good. You know, as long as I can get my organic stuff, I feel safe. Cheers, everybody. Here's to being safe and loved, because you are loved. I love you. I love this time we get to spend together. So I'll light a little more sage, a little more Palo Santo, and we had a beautiful conversation on Live with Dara Dubonnet today. It was over lunch. I was making lunch, and I was using the chickpea patty mix from the new Vegan in Florida, the New Vegan LLC, and I made a beautiful lunch, and somebody's mother had passed, one of our family members. So if you are interested in my view on sickness and death and how do we cope, it's on there. Could you say the name of the CBD infusion again? It's by Now Alchemy. Well, you know, I don't know what the radiation kills in the body. I know it goes in to destroy the offenders and destroys a lot of the nutrients too. So I'm not sure if it's like the same thing as when you're taking antibiotics. You don't bother putting probiotics in until your round of treatment is done. I don't know if it's the same thing. It seems to me it may be, but then again, I know people who have part Western, part Eastern modalities of healing, and they do both. So I'm not an expert in that. My friend Brigitte Salviskas, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I did a beautiful video with her right before my mom passed. Now I want this hotter, so I'm going to heat it up because I love hot liquids at night. And so what I do lately, what I'm doing lately, is I'm taking my watercolors that I worked so hard on years ago for a book called Free the Chi, and I am reworking them. I know, it looks like a big doobie. That's hilarious. That's like my little nickname, is doobie, because it's Dubonnet. I think it's probably a good idea to do the healthy diet. Look at me, I'm like, I've got my doobie. It's just Palo Santo. Nothing so exciting, but the tonic is exciting. Let's heat it up some more. So I'll show you. How about if I show you? I'm going to heat it up. LOL, Alaska. We got Alaska. How cool is that? So I feel like my mom wants me to do my book. She passed, but she has been absolutely, thank you for these suggestions. Keep them coming, and if you would, post them after this video, because people can't see the running comments if they can't catch the live, and I think it's really important. So I am looking to show you what I'm doing. So I take my original watercolor from my Free the Chi book, and let's see if I could show you. Here's the original, and I take a picture of it. And then, that's poor Max with his stuff flying out of the closet. And since I want to maybe make her face a little thinner or accentuate the color of the chi, then I enhance it with this amazing iPad. Here we go. Now it's just a little bolder. So I worked on this a long time ago, and my mother saw, I had been creating characters since 1998. These are not my little characters that I'm referring to. This is a little passionate project called Free the Chi. It's a little book for children and adults, I think. And hey, Montreal. Oh, I love you too. Oh, that's so sweet. I remember you. Yeah, the iPad Pro is, when I came across it, I thought, you know what, this is next level. Because when I did my watercolors in the past, if I messed up one thing, I would have to do the whole thing over, and then I'd have to trace it, and it ends up tightening the energy of it, and it would just be very laborious. I could see I spent a lot of time on it when I look back on it. So I take a picture of it, I put a white background so it brightens it, but we still have the watercolory effect. It's still my original artwork, just enhanced. And then I have it digitally, so all of them are in here. It sounds like it needs a little help. It is hot. So there's a steaming function and a heating function. So let's see if I can show you. I think you might like to see. Poor Max. His room. Once there was a little boy named Max, and he was sad, and he didn't know why, but it was because the chi was stuck in his room. And, well, I could read you the story, or you can wait. I'm gonna do, he always had a good time in his friend Delilah's room doing homework. And one day she came over to play. Thank you. And they were singing and dancing and laughing until she tripped over something that was left on the floor. And she was crying, and he felt so bad. And then he said, why do we always have a good time at your house, in your room, and not at mine? And she said, well, all right, this is my rough sketchbook. This is not the final, but she said, well, all of a sudden, Delilah fell to the floor crying. She had tripped over a baseball left in the middle of the floor amongst all the clutter. Max said he was sorry, and then he wondered aloud, why do we always have a good time when we play in your room? Good evening, porcelain doll. Max, I like this part, where you see her head, then his head, then her head. I want to come to New York. I miss New York so badly. Max, you know that my grandpa Benny is from China. He taught me that if I keep my room clean and put all of my things where I can find them, my room will have lots of good chi. Max said, what is chi and what's so good about it? She said, would you like to hear a poem called Free the Chi that my grandpa taught me? As long as I don't have to clean up my room afterwards, Delilah laughed and began. Chi makes a flower grow, a kitten play, a bubble blow. Chi makes the world go round. It's our sight, our touch, and every sound. Things have chi, places have chi, even you and me have chi. Chi makes a river run, the grass green, the warmth of the sun. Play some music and dance to a beat. Chi is what makes you move your feet. Chi is invisible, but if you're aware, you will surely feel it and know that it's there. Sometimes chi is happy, sometimes it's sad. If your room is messy, chi can make you feel bad. I'll show you some of the pictures. Chi is in everything we know. Chi needs to move. Chi needs to flow. Chi can get stuck under cluttered desks, under piles of paper, or any old mess. So sad. We know when we're in a room like that. Or tangled in clothes on a heap on the floor, or lost among things thrown behind the door. And those toys that you shoved under the bed, if chi goes there, it bumps its head. For calming, we're going to talk about calming in a second. So if you want to help the chi, you must be neat and orderly. Make special places to keep your items, then chi won't have to try and fight them. So Max began to clean under his bed, and sure enough, the chi flew out and bumped his head. Yes, I made this book. Oh my goodness, said Max, it's really true. There really is a chi. I was afraid I might be too late and you might have given up on me. No, dear Max, we're in this together through the good and the bad and all kinds of weather. You can see the little chi. Thank you. So, Max cleaned his room and mended all of his broken toys and the things that made him feel, and let go of the things that made him feel unhappy. Soon, he was surrounded only by only things that brought him joy. When he finished, he heard Chi say, take care of the things that matter to you. By tending to things, you tend to you too. The more you practice and care for the chi, the happier you'll feel. I promise you'll see. How do I keep myself calm? I light a candle, I take a bath, lavender essential oil, I clean the energy, I make sure my home is tidy. All that's got to be, pretty tidy. I make calming tonics, pearl powder, ashwagandha, CBD oil, CBD from Now Alchemy, because it's really, really good. You got a bedtime story. Turmeric actually makes you sleepy, but I recommend turmeric, nutmeg, cinnamon. Chi is just energy. It's just energy. That's all it is. But it's very, very important to make sure the energy can flow in your home. Mama Dara, so many people need it, like adults. It's like, yeah, nothing behind the doors, nothing under the bed. Let's be mindful of all of our items. If things stay in one position for too long, guess what? The energy gets stuck there. There's a reason you move everything off and wipe the sill, wipe the counters, wipe, move, vacuum, move, dust. This is just so heavenly. Use almond milk, hemp milk, any kind of vegan milk. If you don't have fresh turmeric, fresh ginger, you can do black pepper, powdered turmeric, powdered ginger. Hi, Tammy. I just mentioned you. You guys, Tammy's the one who does the Neil's Yard. I was telling you about her. So, Neil's Yard remedies are mostly organic. They are heavenly. I found them when I was in Covent Garden in London, and that's where Tammy found them too. And she sent me Women's Balance, a rose and geranium deodorant, and it's heavenly. And I haven't used the hair treatment yet, but I'm going to. And so they're just high vibe products. So heavenly, like the wild rose face oil. So that's really nice if you're interested in that, in those sweet, wonderful smelling, luxury enhancing things. Oh gosh, yeah, empty nest. I got that one. Fresh is so much better. So I'm so glad, Kelsey, that I'm helping. Empty nest is nothing short of mourning. For me, empty nest means like you can't ever go back. You can't ever have that little child on your hip. You can't have somebody going, mommy, you know, and needing you there. I get choked up thinking about it. I started mourning empty nest. I must have known it was coming. When Jada was 16, she moved with it. It ended up being good for her, but a year or 2 years early, I got empty nest. So I know how you're feeling. It is devastating and shocking, and I wasn't prepared for it. So sometimes we get the time to prepare for it, but even then, I've seen teary mothers. I remember I was at the shop Claire V, and I saw this woman saying her daughter was leaving for college, and she started crying at the counter, and I just felt my heart go. For me, when I was in Paris, before I found out Jada was moving, I was mourning. It was weird. Every time I saw it's coming, and you have to be prepared. You have to prepare yourself. But even if you do, it's sort of like letting yourself mourn. I saw so many mothers and daughters of all ages, arm in arm, and I knew I could never do that with my mom, Tammy. I know we both lost our mothers, very similar. And I was mourning the loss of my mom. I wasn't done mourning, and then I had to mourn Jada at the same time. Just, it was overwhelming. And there's some kind of power that happens when you become the matriarch. If you're not the matriarch of your family, you become the matriarch of your own self and your own life, and you're the autonomous person with no sense of authority. Like, there's no, when your parent passes, you lose somebody else being the authority. When your child leaves, you lose being the parent to a baby, and it's devastating to know that you can't get it back. And that's when you hear people say, it goes so fast. Like, love them while you can, because it goes so fast. And it's so true. You sound like one of those corny people saying it, but it goes. And what I recommend is you let yourself mourn. And you also know that life is so expensive. You also know that there are freedoms and liberties that happen. That's really funny. That's what happens. It's natural for our older children to annoy us, or for us to know, okay, a week is good, but not more. Same thing goes with our parents. It's natural. So embrace all of your feelings. It goes so fast. Like, I really used to tell Jada, honey, I'm going to carry you till you're 21 at least. Like, I'm just going to be her mother forever, and she will always be my baby head. But you realize that time is gone, and hopefully you fill it with your mission on this planet, and with love, like romantic love and career love and mission love and friend love. And your child will always love you. They will always need you and miss you, but we raise them to fly. You know, I raised a beautiful, independent person who wasn't afraid to go. And I think that's beautiful. Well, I love you guys. I'm going to go work on my art project. I'm getting all the illustrations done by January 1st, so I need to do one a day. And thank you, Porcelain Doll. Roots and then wings. Perfectly, Tammy. If anyone wants to post about this to help other people here, that's lovely. That's what we're here for. We have a beautiful community. I was born to bring our family together, to be a liaison between people, to connect people, to communicate the very best things in life. Somebody called it hygge. It's the Danish word for, like, the only way I know how to describe it is celebrating the joys of simple living, like a beautiful tonic and a candle and friends and connection. And I can't tell you how much you guys mean to me. It fills my life with joy and love. So, ooh, I feel so in these holiday times, slow down enough to feel. This is also Mercury in retrograde, so we'll think of the past, we'll feel the past, and that's beautiful. I'm so glad, Dawn. That's so sweet. Good night, everybody. Seriously, beautiful, sweet dreams. I am so glad, Tammy. I can't wait to hug you in person. Oh, you've watched me forever. Have a lovely evening. I love our night times with Dara. I will do more. Good to see you too. So cool. I got to say hi. I'm so glad, Alaska, you did. Stay with me. We're all in this together. I will tell him Alaska is rooting for him. He will love that. Big hugs, everybody. Be very, very kind to yourself and very, very grateful. I am grateful for you.